Hello everyone, Chrissy here from the Creative Eclectic, your independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Brisbane, Australia. I am so excited to be here. I'm missing, I just realised I hadn't set up my iPad, but hey, that's alright. Well, happy Tuesday. Hope everyone is having a fabulous week so far and that it's been productive and happy. And I am hoping that we get a few people watching tonight. So, all right. I'm a teeny bit excited tonight because I'm going to share with you some really lovely cards that I've been sent this week, and I'm going to share with you a really terrific Tuesday tip. So hopefully get a few people watching, and yeah, I'll just make sure that we are working properly. Okay, so let's see who's watching tonight. If you're watching, make sure you say hello and let me know where you're watching from. Hey Megan, how are you? I'm pretty impressed with that video you sent me of the that amazing project. I'm going to try that. All right, but I'm going to show a little pretty cool tip that I learnt last week. And I want to, well, it's cool if it works. So let's give it a go anyway. So I've got my, I've got a brand new, what do you call it? Silicone craft mat. Oh, you're exhausted after your day of ironing. Well, yeah, told you, you need to not iron. Okay, so I've got some dimensionals here, and I've got them so that they're paper side up, right? Yeah, Megan, no one in this house does ironing, and yes, that was a great project. Now, what I saw the other day, and I was watching a Facebook Live with Anne Lewis and one of her American demonstrator friends, Christine, and I'm sorry Christine, I don't remember your surname, and she shared this tip, and I thought, this is something that I really need to try, because I hate, and I can use the word hate, even though it's a very strong word, I hate all those little dimensional backings. And she shared this little tip with, she used packing tape, which is a nice wide 3M packing tape. But I was packing some postage stuff, so I don't have enough of that. So I'm going to hope that it's going to work just as well with cello tape. Oops, if you don't wreck the cello tape before you even start. Isn't that annoying? It's just so annoying. You get this lovely new roll of cello tape and you can't even undo it without it being facetious. Hey Glenda, hey Marnie. Marnie, you must be feeling lovely and relaxed this week. School holidays are here. Woohoo! Yeah, okay. I'm just off camera trying to get my sellotape unravelled because I had a brand new roll and I've already torn it. Let's see if I can do this. Don't know why it did that. Anyway, so I saw this really great tip, and what the lady did, and I thought, such a genius idea. She popped on the paper side, not the full sheet, but the little partial sheets. She popped some packing tape. Well, let's just try it with a little bit of packing tape that we have. How's that? That might work. All right, so what she did is she covered the whole top of her her dimensionals with this packing tape, right? And she left a little bit off the end, so we're just going to see. Do you want to try it on one corner? She left a little bit off the end and folded that down to make like a little handle, right? So then, when she went to use her dimensionals, and I'm hoping this is going to work, you've got to make sure you rub it down nicely. When she went to use her dimensionals, the backings it sort of works. The backings came off onto the tape. So you just sort of... But isn't that a really genius idea? Like, I just was blown away. Like, she got it to work really well. Like, but the packing tape, if you press it onto that paper, so then you don't have all of those little dimensional papers spread all around your house. And then when you're not using it, you just fold it back down. So if I could have undone this tape without wrecking it, brand new roll, we could have tried it, see if it worked with brand tape. But look at that. How ingenious is that? So the backs of the dimensionals stick to the sticky tape. So then when you have finished with it, you don't get... and I think it does work, mate. So I've only got that tiny bit of tape on, and look, if you've pressed it down and burnished it on, there's no reason why it wouldn't work. How cool is that? I thought that was a really great tip to try, and I was going to use it with the normal packing tape, but yeah. Oh, Glenda, I'm so glad that you have got your NBN back after 4 weeks. So that is so exciting. Thank you, Marnie and Glenda. Yes, I love my new fence now. It is just awesome. I've been waiting a long time, since beginning of COVID, to get that fence replaced. And initially our neighbours wanted a colour that I didn't like. So I stood my ground and went, no, I'm not doing that. And that paid off somewhat. And they ended up getting a new front fence, which was the colour of the back fence that I wanted. So there you go. Now, I wanted to show you some of the cards that I've received before we get started on anything else. So this was the very first card that I got for the year, the very first Christmas card. Now this is from Glenda S, and I think that it's gorgeous. So she repurposed a card with a flamingo on it just for me, because, you know. Oh, thank you, Marnie. I was hoping to get them redone before Christmas, but I'm not going to have enough time. So we've got that one from Glenda. So another one that came in the mail. This one is from Brenda. So isn't that lovely? She's like all the paper do all the work with a little bit of ribbon. So that's really lovely. Thank you, Brenda. All right. We've got this lovely card from Katrina. So how pretty is that? So this, these trees are in the Stampin' Up catalogue, but she's used some other stuff as well. Yeah. And then I like this one. This one is from Glenda L. And look, she's decorated the inside. So thank you, Glenda. Isn't that so sweet? Did you die cut those, Glenda? Or fussy cut them? They're just cut perfectly. Oh, they're beautiful little reindeer. I love reindeer. Then I got this lovely card from the lady who introduced me to card making, Sandra. And this is like, it has some pop out bits in it. So that's a really nice card. She's used that beautiful paper and she's embossed that as well. So that's lovely. She's a big fan of embossing. Oh, that's a nice tree. That's in the catalogue too, I think. So she's just used some beautiful things there. And I got this one. This is from one of my team members, Jane. So thank you, Jane. She's used some of the retired papers, but the current ribbon, and she's done some heat embossing. So that's really lovely. I really like that card because it uses up some of your scraps, and yeah, you just had to use you just had to use it for Chrissy. It was fussy cut. Oh my goodness, Glenda. Oh. Now I am showing you quite a few cards. So this one here was another one from Glenda S, and I love this one too. Isn't that nice? Oh, and look, it's got little bells, and they actually ring, so that's pretty cute. And she's decorated the inside, so that's lovely. I like that one. I like the colour scheme, and I like that it's got gold in it. So that's very pretty. Then this one is from the lovely Carol. Isn't that lovely? So she's used all squares. That's a lot of work in that card. So this is from the these two papers are the papers which Stampin' Up donates money to a charity from. So lovely, Carol. That's just beautiful, and it's a square one. She hand delivered that. So now this is a different one. This one, I think it's just lovely. So this one is from Jenny. Now Jenny also, she went a little bit above and beyond. She did this lovely little tea bag holder as well. How cute is that? So that's a really nice card. It's just like she's got the gold foil, and yeah, so that's very lovely. Thank you, Jenny. And I love that punch, and that's a retired one. Very, very nice. Carol's card is stunning. This one here is from the lovely Margarita. Now, I think this is just beautiful. And she's used a combination of products on it, obviously, but it's just really, really stunning. And Yeah, so I like that one. That's another square one. Now this one, lovely one here, this is from Patty, and it is, she's used a shimmery paper as the base, so that's a little bit different. And that was from a kit that we did together. So she doesn't have a lot of supplies, so that's really nice. I like that too. Okay. Then we've got this one, and this one is from Estelle, and so she's used. She's done a fair bit of work putting that wreath together, and it's quite nice, and she put a little thing on the inside, so that's lovely. She's put a lot of work into that. And this one is from Judy. So what she's done is she's repurposed an old card as the background, but used a Stampin' Up die cut over the top. So it's nice to see that different people do very different things. So, and my first store-bought card, actually comes from Disneyland, and this was from my niece and her husband. So thank you, Susie and Dan. And then also I got this lovely little gift, and this is from Ray, and it's a little post-it note holder, but look at how cute that is. So thank you, Ray. That's really lovely. Like that one. And then I got this card. Now, this is an unusual card. It took me a little while to work out. Oh, hang on, I have to lay it flat first. Okay. So this is from the lovely Carolyn. Now, it is a very fancy fold card. So you pop this together, and it's got these little flaps here, and the little flaps go on the front, and I'm just trying to work it you can have it leaning whichever way you like. So when it leans, when these are closed, it sort of leans to one side, or you can lean it that way. So that's a very nice fancy fold card, and I'm going to ask Carolyn to teach me how to make that because I really like it. But it's just made out of a square of cardstock. So, but there's a lot of work in the scoring of that one. So thank you very much, Carolyn. I really love it. The last thing I want to show you is a lovely little box I've got 2 boxes downstairs that I wanted to show people, but I won't. So this is a lovely little box made by Glenda S as well. So she made these for our Coffee, Cake and Cards Christmas party. So that was really lovely. Everyone got one of those. Look, it's got a lovely little Christmas pudding in it. Not letting Steve see that. Hi, Ali. Thanks for watching, darling. My Santa pants are on the bench, Megan. Hang on. I will go and get my Santa pants. Well, I'll call out to Steve and get him to get them. Won't be 1 second. Because they are fantastic, Santa pants. They were featured in my video. Hey Steve, can you bring up the 2 Santa pants gift cash things that are on the bench that Megan gave us? There's the red one and with the hat. The 2 things? The gift bag with the little hat on the front and your name on it. Okay, So Steve's just grabbing those for me, and they are really, really fabulous. And I didn't forget them. I just thought I'd shown everyone in my video of after the Christmas party or during the Christmas party. Okay. Oh, here they are. Thank you, Steve. All right. So these are made by the lovely Megan. And this is a little gift tag hat. Isn't that lovely? And look at these pants. Aren't they gorgeous? They're so cute. And they're full of chocolate. Oh, they're so nice. So that Steve gets green ones and I get red ones. Aren't they? He is a legend. Aren't they just amazing? Oh, I didn't see that before, Megan. It's got Biscoff in it. Oh, Steve hasn't got Biscoff in his. Oh, but mine's got Biscoff in it. Not sharing that either. Okay. All right. So they are the most beautiful cards that I have received. And I'm really appreciative for everyone who's made lovely cards and taken the time to send them. I posted 80 plus cards today, and I realised that I haven't made a card for my mum and dad, or one of my closest, or two of my closest friends. So I need to make 3 cards, and then I will be done. Well, actually, I need to make 4 because I need to make one for Steve too, but sometimes he doesn't mind getting a bought card. Oh, did I say that out loud? All right, so I've got my card base. So I'm using Pretty Peacock as my card base. And hang on, I just have to go back and show you these pants. Aren't they just gorgeous? She's even put ribbon around the bottom and a little buckle on them. And look, how good are they? Anyway, I keep thinking that they're just amazing. All right, so I've got my card base, and I haven't actually planned these cards. I've got a piece of wild wheat because I didn't have any gold. I have some, actually I've got 2 card bases. I've got some of the distressed Regal paper from the mini catalogue. Now this is, I think this is retiring. Got a bit more Pretty Peacock, and I've got some white. So I thought what I would do is make a fairly simple card. I've got my Peaceful Evergreen stamp set. And I think I'm going to use the sentiments from Sentimental Wishes. I just love this set. Oh, wait till I see my Christmas card. Oh, that sounds intriguing. Oh, I just reached my move goal for the day and my watch is going off. Okay. All right. So I've got all sorts of little bits and pieces on my table. So what I thought I would do is create a flip sort of a card. Now that's a real technical term for it. I've also got some Pretty Peacock. Now I'm going to cut this Pretty Peacock just into, I'll just cut 2 pieces of it. So I'm going to cut it at 5 inches, that way. Then I'm going to turn it round, and I'm thinking, I'll just have to think about this. So usually when I do 5 1/2, I do 5 3 3/4, 3 1/2. So it's about 3 1/4 inches. That's what we're going to start with and see, actually, see if that works. No, let's go 3 inches. Let's go 4 and, might actually cut that down. 4 3/4 and 3 inches. Let's do that and see how that looks on our card. Okay, I've also got some white as well. So how I'm going to start this is, and I'm hoping these will be quick cards, is I'm just going to grab my red from the distressed Regal's paper. Oh no, you're back on your phone again. No, that's no good at all, Glenda. And I've got my multi-purpose glue, which has been storing upside down, and Megan, they are still all nice and neat. Okay, now I have scored my card base at 5 3/4, so it's 11 1/2 inches by 4 inches wide, and my pattern paper is 5 1/2 inches by 3 3/4. I'm just going to do that. I'm just going to grab this piece here and I'm going to cut it in half. So rather than measure it, I'm just going to do approximately half. So that will be, let's just make it 3 inches. That'll work. Okay, just pop that piece to one side. All right, so now I've got this little flappy thing here. I'm going to grab some of my pattern paper. Now remember I said this was 3 inches and then this one here is 4 inches. So I'm going to cut it to 3 inches, 2 3/4 inches. And I should have it already cut to the right height. Yep, so I'm just 2 3, yeah, that's about right. Okay. And on my other one, I'm just going to cut that 3-inch strip off as well. Actually, no. Do it this way, cut it 3 inches. Line my score line up with a 3-inch mark. And then just going to stick this card base. Now, I don't know if this is going to turn out or not. I haven't made these cards like this before, so we're just crossing our fingers, because I knew that I needed to just make a couple more. And look, I am running so low on pattern paper, like Christmas pattern paper, that I was considering buying more. Okay, so I've got that one like that, and I'm going to cut. So we're going to use, so there's 3 patterns in this distressed Regals, and you get, I think, 2 sheets of each. And I really like the cherry cobbler and pretty peacock colour combinations, so we're going to stick with that. I'm just going to cut this one at 2 3/4. So it'll be 2 3/4 by 3 3/4, okay? So we're just going to stick those on. Stick this one on. I'm going to try something a little bit different with this one of these. Make sure when you stick them on you've got your pattern going the right way. So I'll be able to make another couple of these with slightly different pattern. Now you'll see that that's all quite rough, and that's because I need to change my cutting blades on my trimmer. Okay. Oh, you have heat. I think I should be right, Regan. Oh. I saw yesterday someone used, I think it was Felicity, she used some old pink Stampin' Up paper, and I'm like, oh, I miss that paper so much. Right, so I've got this piece here, which we cut before, and I think that that's going to be a good size. The other option is you can just take this bit that you've cut off and you can use that. Okay, so you've got no wastage, all right? So I'm going to do that with that one. So this one here, I want to have it so it's got a bit of gold or faux gold on it. So I'm going to use some wild wheat. And I'm only going to make it 1/8 of an inch bigger. So if you don't have gold in your stash, use wild wheat. So this was 3, so I'm going to make it 3 1/8 wide. Or high. And then this was 5. No, it was 4 3/4. So I'm going to make it 4 7/8. We'll see if that works anyway. So then, yeah, it looks like you've got some gold in certain lights, right? So that's a good start. Oh, before I get rid of my trimmer, I'm going to cut this piece, and I want to make it about I think I'm going to make it 4.5 inches long. And then I'm going to turn it around and make it 2 3/4 inches high. And I'm going to try something that I haven't tried before, all right? Well, I have tried it with other products, but not with these ones. So I'm going to grab my Peaceful Evergreen stamp set. And like I've used this so little that I haven't even got all the backings on all of the stamps. Okay. I'm just going to put my silicone craft mat underneath here. You don't need one. But I just want to protect my grid paper. I'm just going to grab my Pretty Peacock ink, and we're going to stamp. That looks very, very dry. I thought I might show you another tip tonight as well. So that definitely needs to be re-inked, but it'll be okay for this. I'm just going to stamp my trees right along the bottom. So they're very, very pale because it needs to be re-inked. I might not have closed it properly, but you get the idea. So, and because this is something that we don't do a lot of, we don't stamp on pattern paper a lot. Okay, so you can see the trees now, they haven't stamped over the gold, so it's like a resist sort of a pattern. Now I've got a bit of haloing there, but don't worry too much about that. We're going to get another stamp from this set. I'm going to get this star, which I have put together. Let's grab a little block from somewhere. We're just going to pop some stars on here. Now, when you're stamping, don't hold your ink pad in your hand like this and try and ink it up, okay? We're going to just stamp some stars on here. Now I've got one little halo which I can stamp over. Okay, or almost stamp over it. I'm just going to do some random stars down near the trees. Let's see if I can get that one on top of that tree. Let's do about 5 of them. Doesn't matter if they go slightly off the edge. Now wild wheat isn't a colour that I use a lot, but I have used it for my Christmas cards this year. And I'll have Anne Lewis to thank for that, because I would never have used it without her encouragement. Now, so what we're going to do now is we're just going to pop these together. And I want to put some ribbon on. Now I've got some Pretty Peacock ribbon. I could use Pretty Peacock, or I could use the wild wheat, or I can use this cherry cobbler ribbon, which I haven't yet opened, so let me open that. So let's just talk about which one you prefer. So I'll pop the base of our card here. Do we like the just move these together. Do we like the sparkly Pretty Peacock one? Or do we like the cherry cobbler one? Or do we like the wild wheat one? So make sure you write in the comments which one you prefer. I think that, well, I actually don't know which one I like. So that's why I'm asking you guys to Write in the comments. I've got a bit of a delay. So let's just do them again. We've got wild wheat, cherry cobbler, or pretty peacock. Oh, Marnie likes, Megan and Marnie like wild wheat, and Glenda likes cherry cobbler. And no one likes pretty peacock. Okay, so let's go. Let's do this one with the wild wheat. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stick my pattern paper onto the pretty peacock first. So we'll do the next one with the cherry cobbler, Glenda. Then we're going to pop this wild wheat behind the front and the back. Now I need to grab some glue dots. Actually, I'm not going to use glue dots, I'm just going to use a bit of tear and tape. I think they all look pretty good. I'm just going to stick this on. I want it fairly high up because I do. I'll line it up with that top line there. I'll flip it over. Make sure it's straight. Whoops. Has everyone finished their Christmas shopping? It's me who has bought one thing. I bought one thing for my husband for Christmas, and that's it. Oh no, actually, I bought one thing for my husband and one thing for a girlfriend who I thought was coming to stay this week. So that's okay. She'll get it when she comes. So now we're just going to pop some more glue on here. And pop that on. So you can see how the wild wheat, when it's used as a mat, does look gold. So it's sort of a greeny gold, but it still does look gold. Okay, so we've put them together. I'm going to pop, let's just pop our lid back on our glue. And use our trusty little glue stand to stand it upside down. So normally I would use my bow maker, but tonight I'm just going to tie a knot. So left over, right and under, and then, sorry, right over, left and under, and then left over the right and under. So I've got my nice little reef knot, so it lies flat that way. And then you can just maneuver your little bow to where you want it. Oh, I didn't cut that in the same length. Now, thank you to everyone who came to our Christmas party on Saturday. It was really fun. I had a really good time. And I loved everyone's little snowmen that you made. They were pretty cute. Okay, so we're just going to grab our dimensionals and we're going to use this little bit here. Just pop them up. So we're only putting dimensionals on the back third, or the left third of our front piece. So we've made basically our card. We just need to put a little bit to write on and a sentiment piece, a sentiment on it. So I'm just going to pop that there. So that covers up quite a lot. So you could put a nice big piece of white on the inside. Grab my white cardstock and cut a piece. That is, we might cut it slightly bigger. I'm going to cut it at 5 1/4. And then 3. That's not what I want, I don't think. I need to resize that. I know. I should have cut it at 3 1/2. Let's just do the next one at 3 1/2. All right, so then not 3 1/2, no, 3 3/8. I'll get it right eventually. Even probably take that down a bit more. 3 1/4. Only want the tiniest bit of white showing. There we go. That's better. So then that'll sit on the inside of the card. And you'll just be able to see it just a teeny bit. And so, is this the best card that I've made all year? Probably not. But I think that it is a nice card. And I think that whoever receives it is going to be happy that they've got it. So I'm going to use a sentiment from the Sentimental Wishes stamp set. And anyone who gets a card from me this year will notice that in my handwritten notes, because I wrote a note in every one of them, I talked about joy. And so I think that that's a nice sentiment to wish someone joy and happiness. So I'm going to line this up. Hopefully I get it centered. Oh, just It's like a bought one. Well, even better than a bought one, really. Just want to make sure I can probably cut a little teeny bit off the length of this, just to make it sit just a little bit better. So it's currently 5 1/4, so we're just going to take it down to 5 1/8. Somehow I've got glue all over my fingers yet again. All right, so to those of you who are in my VIP group, you will have noticed that there is a competition at the moment where you need to share something Christmassy that you have made. And it doesn't have to be a card, it can be anything. And we'll pick a winner at random. So like someone shared a little video that had 20 cards in it, so they get 20 entries. And yeah, we're going to pick a random winner and on Christmas Eve, and they will get a Christmas gift. So there we go. Now I put a bit much glue on that. It's all right. Let's make sure that that is straight. Right, so we're going to just finish this off with some embellishments. So I'm using the Regal foil embellishments. Oh, I should have used some pretty peacock ones. But anyway, these are what we have up here. So I'm thinking, actually I'm thinking that I don't like any of those on my card. I don't think actually it needs any. I might put some pretty peacock ones on later on. So that's our first card. All right, so the other card will be very similar. It will be a little bit different. Let's do it a little different. Let's grab all of our stuff. So we've got this piece here. Now, I didn't mention before that these Regal papers are only single-sided. So we're going to use another bit. Actually, we're going to use look, just use a piece of that. Now we know that was 3, just up to 3, so we'll make it 2 3/4 and just see how that fits. I might have to trim it a little bit more. Oh no, we'll have to trim it a little bit more, so let's make it 2 1/2. So remember, this piece is the cut-off piece from the front. Oh, that looks right to me. Okay, so on this one we're going to do something slightly different, and we are going to. I've got these leaves, and I haven't used any of them, right? So what I want to do is I just want to use a heap of these leaves. I probably could have used them as a prize. Hi Carolyn, thanks for watching. Okay, so we're just going to grab this. Oh, you know why it's not working? Because I'm using the end that I always use, but it's been sitting upside down. I've got another one. It's been sitting upside down as well. And we're just going to pop this on. Okay. Now this one I am going to use the Pretty Peacock ribbon. I'm going to make it go in a different direction to what we did last time. Just grab my tear and tape again. So I hope you liked the first card. Like, they don't take long to make. You just got to decide how wide you want them to be. Okay. Off that excess ribbon there. Now we're not doing a wild wheat layer on this one. But what I am going to do, I'm going to pop this on. Now I really can't get over this hack. I need to get some more of that packing tape. That'll be a job for the morning when I go to the post office, I think. Look how it just takes all that backing off. And so I don't have backings all over my desk or all over the floor or all over the dog. Where's the most unusual place you've found a dimensional backing? I found one in a hotel room in Las Vegas, not where the Stamping Up conference was, and I had not been even unpacked my suitcase, and there were these dimensional things on the floor, and it was a really dodgy hotel. It was one of those, oh, we've just got off the plane after flying for however many hours, we need to get some sleep before we drive to our next place. And so it wouldn't be a place that most people would stay. Like, I would never have picked it. But you know, when you have a frugal husband who used to backpack around Europe on $5 a day. Oh, you found yours in the car? Oh, in the fish tank? Oh, yeah. I found some dimensional backings in this hotel in Las Vegas, and it wasn't anywhere near where the Stamping Up event was going to be. It was like a week before the event, so I have no idea how they managed to get dimensionals in, and because I had made sure we didn't have any loose ones on our clothes before we left Australia, and because, you know, you don't want to spread them around like confetti on the plane. Now, it's really hard to tie bows when you have I've found them in the fridge too. It's really hard to tie bows when you have glue on the tips of your fingers, all right? So keep some hand sanitizer or some rubbing alcohol close. That's a really good way of getting the glue off your fingers. I'm just going to adjust this bow. So I'm going to pop my finger on the knot, squeeze the knot sort of tight. And then, yeah. And I discovered today that, or this week, that some cards that I sent in November, early November, have just been arriving at people's door this week. So if you get a card this week, and it's not a Christmas card, it's a thank you card or a you're awesome card, please know that it wasn't sent in the last 2 weeks. it was actually sent at the beginning of November, but I suspect that my mailman, or the person who was walking past the mailbox, the post office on their way to work, may not have put them. You found yours on a dinner plate. It does show how well they clean the rooms, or it just shows how wicked those little dimensional things are. Oh, I've got to move some of these things off the table. I've got my pack of paper and I keep sticking to it. So I'll just pop that in there. So I'm just going to stick these, and I don't know if this is going to work, but we're going to give it a go. Stick these petals on because I just think they're really pretty, and I've wanted to use them, but I didn't know what to use them on, and I thought this might make it a nice thing to use them on. So sort of making like a poinsettia, I guess. Probably should have done it before and I don't know how well this glue sticks these things on. Sort of like a half a poinsettia. They've got a lot of detail in them. I don't know if you can see it. When you turn them, you can actually see they've actually got ridges for the leaves, but you've got to have white underneath them to see the ridges of the leaves. That's pretty cool. I think they're quite cute. Let's put a couple more on. It sort of looks a bit Christmassy, I think. I don't know. This might be for my girlfriend, that she always gets the experimental cards and she loves them, but some of them I give to her, I go, oh, I shouldn't really be giving that to anyone, but she still loves them just the same because they're handmade. Right. I don't think that looks too bad. So you can see they're really nice little fine little leaves. I just got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We need 7 leaves on there because in nature there are not normally even petals on flowers. There you go. So that's nice. That's a bit different. I want to just move them out so that they are only on one side of the there we go. Okay. I think they'd look nice as die cuts on top of them, Marnie. I think they'd look really good. Alright, so that is that little bit. So we need a sentiment and we need something on the inside to write on. Now they keep slipping for now. So what I probably should have done is put a piece of tear and tape down. I'll push that one out a bit. Oh, they're being very facetious there. I need to move this one. So you have to just let them dry. Try not to touch them too much. Okay, so that's sort of, because we can do this card this way if you wanted, but my pattern paper is the wrong way, so I have to do it that way. That's quite cute. You might not think so, But anyway, all right, so we need to put a sentiment on. Now I'm going to grab a scrap of white. And we're going to again put I'm going to use the words "Have a very Merry Christmas," but I'm going to do it a little bit differently. Once it's on here. Well, Glenda, I was just thinking about what you said about that, how well they clean the room. The room that I was talking about, it smelt like they had used industrial cleaner. It actually smelt like the morgue at the hospital, where it smells so strongly of ammonia and disinfectant, and it was just awful. And we're going to just have a wipe. Where are my baby wipes? What I'm doing is I'm just going to cut out my words. So I've got my baby wipes. I'm just going to wipe off the excess ink. And then I'm going to go. This is so much easier when you have a pen, like a stamping right marker. Just wanted to ink up the word Christmas. And I'm just going to grab my baby wipe and wipe off any of the other letters. There might be a little bit of residual, but type stamp that there. I'm not worried about the other letters. Now this is the hardest bit, is doing the next bit. And it's, so usually what I do is I just wipe off the Christmas word. Wipe off the have a and see if I have a bit of post-it tape, which I do. I'm just going to put that on my stamp. See if this works. It's not going to work that way. That's all right. No, I messed that up. That's all right. I want some out there. Whoops. Do that. So you need a longer bit of post-it tape. So I'm just masking off. This is when you need a stamping right marker. No, that's not going to work. So what I'm going to do with that one, I'm not going to cut it straight, I'm going to cut it square. All right. So I'm going to grab my scissors. Cut my have a out first. So what's everyone doing for Christmas? Are you doing anything exciting? I'm really looking forward to going to my girlfriend's place for Christmas lunch. It's a late lunch. So Steve and I'll have a nice leisurely breakfast with Delphi Dog. And then the three of us will head over and have a late lunch, and then we'll have leftovers with them and come home on Boxing Day, and it'll just be really lovely. I'm really looking forward to it. Well, that V is a bit icky. Might have to re-stamp the V, the very again, because I don't like that, it's a bit smudgy. And I'll see my parents on Sunday if Mum is free from COVID, because she got COVID last week, which was a bit sad. But she sounded much better when I spoke to her today, so she's getting tested tomorrow, so that would be good. Good night, Marnie. It might have been a crime scene once, Glenda. I think that it was. It was a dodgy hotel just off the strip. It was one of the Wynn resort, one of the Wynn chain, but the down market, one of the Wynn chain. I'm just gonna grab another piece of scrap. Oh, that's not a piece of scrap. Let's just grab another piece of white. Let's use this one. It could have been anything, Glenda. I was a bit worried, and then during the night, someone, because we went to dinner at midnight because we'd just flown from Australia, and when we came back from dinner, this guy knocked on our door because we had the door open because the smell was so bad. And he knocked on our door, and I'm going with plan B. I decided I didn't like plan A, by the way. And he asked us where his room was, and he had a room key and everything, but he was completely lost, and he was drunk out of his mind, and all I could think of was, is this guy going to kill us? So, because it was midnight in Las Vegas, and not on the strip, so a bit back from one end of the strip, which wasn't a particularly reputable area. And yeah, I just had visions that we would end up in a ditch somewhere. But the guy was actually really nice, and he genuinely was lost and had no clue where his room was. But we helped him, and he got back to his room safe, and we then locked the door. Yeah, it is a dreadful virus doing around. Megan, Mum and Dad have both had it, and Mum was so bad that she had a fall from it, like, because it affected her blood pressure, and well, she is 86, but you know, you can't afford to get sick when you're 86, I don't think. So I'm going plan B because I didn't like what my plan A was. and I'm hoping this will look alright. So I've just stamped a plain white bit. I'm going to close up my cherry cobbler ink pad. And I'm going to grab my wild wheat ink pad. I'm just going to ink around the edges, just lightly. And it gives sort of a greeny gold glow. It could have been an axe murderer, yes. I was thinking that, you know, you have, because we see certain things portrayed in the media about the US in Australia, you have some preconceived ideas of what people are like. And this fellow was really lovely, but yeah, we had some preconceived ideas of by the way he was dressed, and that he might have been not a savoury type. Okay, so I think I'm just going to pop I don't know where I'm going to pop this. I don't think it matters that the leaves sort of cover it a little bit. I'm just going to pop it there because I'm not sure. So that is our second card. I'm going to put a little piece of white on the inside. Let's see. This time I might make the white a bit smaller. Let's just make it 2 3/4 by, that is the most crooked cut on the planet. What on earth was I thinking when I cut that? Let's turn that over. Wow, that's really crooked. All right, we're going to just straighten that up. Oh goodness. I have no clue why that is so crooked. It's still crooked. Now this is when you need to use your lines on your scorer rather than your edges, because this is super crooked when I cut it at one point. So you just try to straighten it up. I think this one's square now. Oh, the bottom still looks a bit. Oh goodness. Yeah, I think we're right now. That looks a bit more proper. Proper now. Alright, so this one you won't see from the front. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pop some glue on it. And I'm going to position it where I want it if it was closed. If the card was closed. And then I'm just going to close the front flap over the top of it. So then you can just wriggle it a little bit and get it straight. And I do think that it does need something on the inside. So let's put Let's just put a little red bow on the inside, just to finish it off. He fit the profile, definitely. Glenda, very much so. And you don't like to think that you're racist or that you're judgmental or anything like that. But sometimes it's hard not to make assumptions. And I'm just going to grab my wild wheat and my little star. And let's just pop a couple of little stars on here as well. And I'm going to pop a couple on the front. Maybe one there. One over here. And one there. That looks better with some stars on it. Oh, there we go. All right, so that is our second card. And look, I still can't get over this. This is so cool. I don't have any dimensional backgrounds anywhere on my desk. I'm pretty impressed with that. That's pretty amazing, really. So get yourself some packing tape and stick it onto the back of your dimensionals and tell me if it works for you. You do have to be careful, Glenda, but you also can't assume the worst of everybody. And sometimes when you travel, you do assume that. Like I remember we were in Turkey and my daughter was only very young. She was still in primary school, just about to start high school, and we stayed at this motel and in Papercraft, and my daughter and our neighbour's daughter, they were talking to the little girl that her parents owned the place where we stayed, and she had a pet camel and she wanted to show the girls her pet camel, and we thought that the pet camel was just like in the yard next to where we were, and it actually wasn't. It was like blocks away, and she'd taken the girls at dusk to see this camel. And this little girl was only about 10 or 12. I think she was about 10 or 8. And so these three young girls between 8 and 12 were wandering around the streets of Papercraft at dusk by themselves. And it was around the time that Madeleine McCann went missing. She had gone missing in Spain. And so we're like, okay. Probably wasn't our best parenting moment, but she did have a camel and she did bring them back, and she actually took them there on a motorbike with no helmet, and the three of them were on the bike, but we didn't know that bit either. So yeah, that was a bit of an eye-opener when we discovered all of that. We just thought that the camel was right next door in the paddock. But yeah. So anyway, you learn these things afterwards. And yeah, so there we go. The girls had a great experience though. So that was important, but it didn't stop me freaking out after they'd been gone for probably about half an hour. So yeah. Anyway, so they're our 2 cards for tonight, and we've shared lots of cards as well, and a great tip. And I hope, Megan, you've finished your ironing now. Oh no, you finished some Christmas cards. Ah. Anyway, everyone have a great rest of the week. I am planning to go live next Tuesday night on Christmas Eve. But I'm having a medical procedure Monday, so I need to, that might not happen, but my plan is that it will. So if it doesn't, I will keep you posted and let you know. Right, until then, have a great rest of the week. Enjoy your festive celebrations. I know lots of people are heading to Christmas parties and markets and all sorts of things this weekend. Stay safe and well. All right. Oh, hi, Helen. I didn't thank you. See you there. Yeah. So anyway, have a great night. Until next time, happy creating and bye for now.